Hello and welcome to Out Here, Finding Fulfillment After 50. I'm your host, Tom. It has been a little while once again, but this is episode 9. We are back out in the screened-in porch with the fire pit going. A little bit of a breeze off the lake. The mosquitoes are vicious out there. There's Friday, May 29th, 2026. Where do I start? Lots happened since March 22nd. I believe that was the last episode I aired of the podcast. I've been doing a lot of work. First of all, winter out here has been one of the toughest we've had in quite a while. Very dark, very icy, lots of snow, a lot of snow. So much so that I had to have a snow removal company come on twice to do the road and my own personal driveway because I couldn't push it or blow it anywhere. An industrial sized payloader was in, and the second time they came in, even they were running out of places to push the snow. And this machine's big and powerful, and with the drifting, it was just impossible here. So this was a tough winter with the snow removal. It was a tough winter with the lack of sunshine, a lot of freezing rain and ice storms that even just cleaning off your vehicle was a miserable experience. It's been a tough winter, and spring has been elusive. It's only the last week or so that it has actually felt like spring here with warmer temperatures, very little frost. The leaves have started to open. The grass is green. The frogs have started their nightly singing ritual. It's finally, you feel confident knowing that winter is now in the rear view mirror. The ice only left the lake entirely 2 weeks ago. That is pretty late for this area. I know we're in northern Ontario, but it's not that north. The ice should have been gone the last week of April at the latest. So out here, simple, solo, rural, finding fulfillment after 50. It's tough when so much of your energy is expended just trying to survive the winter, trying to get through the spring, trying to get the damage of the winter dealt with. It's not a landscaped yard by any means, but at the same time, it's not a dirt heap. And there was damage from snow removal from the big machines coming in from my snow plow truck, digging up sod and trying to clean some of that up. And I still have a bit more work to do. And then waiting for the rain to stop so you can actually mow the lawn and not destroy your lawn tractor. That was a bit of a challenge. On a more personal home front issue, work has been busy. I had to do some soul searching, if you will, about my own personal fulfillment. There's a day job that pays my bills and then some, but my heart hasn't been in it for a long time. I still don't mind it. I'm still happy to serve people in that capacity, but it's not my future. It's definitely ebbing as opposed to flowing. And for a number of years now, I've worked really hard on trying to get a life coaching business up and running. And I've spent a lot of money on the different certifications that I have. I spent a lot of money with consultants and people that teach you and coach you on how to launch your coaching business. And I'm just not getting the traction because ultimately, I'm not a sales guy. I'm not a seller. I help people, and I'm happy to help anyone who wants to work with me, but I'm not going to go out there and try and sell you on, hey, you need coaching. One of the other challenges with this coaching business is people don't wake up and go, you know what I need? I need a coach. Unless you're an athlete or an executive who knows the power of what a coach can do for you, you're not going to run out there and try to get someone to help you work out a new workout regime or a new way of leading your life or taking stock of what do I really want to do with my life. These are things I am highly trained to help people work out, and including action plans and accountability and motivation and getting them to see their blind spot. Like, it's a whole package of what I'm capable of doing for people. Yet, other than the pro bono clients I've worked with, I've never had one person pay me to work with them. And for my pro bono clients, like, yeah, I gave it my all, and I was still learning the ropes at that point when I was still doing pro bono, but they've gotten some killer results. They're doing great. I know this stuff works, but I also know that things have changed in the way I was marketing. And I'll explain that in a second. And please, I don't want this to sound like I'm doing an ad for coaching. I'm not. I'm just trying to share where I'm coming from with my journey on fulfillment. Instagram, one of my main channels that I market with. Facebook, another one of the main channels I market with. Meta owns them, and they just took Instagram Live away from me because I don't have 1,000 people. And I'm sorry, I don't have 1,000 followers because I'm not doing something stupid or entertaining, or I'm not running around with my shirt off, flexing my muscles. Like, I'm talking to people about how I can help them. And there are people that get the message and there are people that interact, but I don't have 1,000 of them. Therefore, one of my top ways of using Instagram has been taken away because the algorithms were slightly kinder to live video. And while that's now a thing of the past, Facebook has proven useless for coaching for me for the last 2 years anyways. And I don't even know why I keep my Facebook account, to be honest with you. I've since recently, at the behest of ChatGPT, started using Substack. And Substack is actually a really nice community. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting interaction with my posts, and I'm also interacting with other people's content. And it feels like what Facebook was in the early days. So I'm going to stick with Substack. I'm basically going to be shutting down my Instagram and Instagram and Facebook posting, because there's no point. Unless I boost every post with 10, 20, 30, or $50, no one sees it. And that's really not how I want to, it's not how I was trained to build my coaching business. And I don't want to hire an ad agency. I don't want to hire an AI ad agency. I don't want that. It's not how I like using social media. I haven't decided on when exactly, but what I've decided is I'm going to strip down my coaching site to basically a very simple site that is going to be essentially a landing page. And the way I'm going to direct traffic to that page is through really hyper-focused local media marketing. And it might even be print. Where I live, there's a local digest that prints every week. I'm going to run probably quarter-page ads in it with a little teaser text. And if you want to learn more, go to this website. And the website's basically going to answer the tease and say, hey, if you're a male between, say, 20 and 50, if you are unhappy with how your life is, I'm trained to help you fix it. I'm trained to help you change it. And it's not changing it the way I want you to change it. It's the way you want it. I'm just going to help you get there. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, let's face it, gentlemen, that's what I am trained to do. And I enjoy doing it when I have the opportunity to do so. I really do. So that's going to be a big step, but that's also going to require courage to actually see. I'm going to admit I'm a bit of a coward. One of the reasons I like online marketing is it goes out into the ethos, if you will, to the cloud, and it will land with certain people that might interact with it who probably more than likely don't know me, haven't heard of me. They're just reaching out to someone who had a message. They don't know me as anything else but that person with that marketing message. And I like that kind of safety, that anonymity, if you will, even though I'm using my real name. It felt safe to do online marketing. Now I'm going to turn around and do actual local marketing to people that may or may not have a clue as to who I am. And it's different. It's going to be more personal, more targeted, more in their face to a degree. And I'm a little nervous about that. That's going to require some courage to take that action. And I will. I just know I'm not quite ready yet. And I have to still build my landing page and work with whether it's Claude or ChatGPT or Grok, whatever it's called, or I don't know what Microsoft's Gemini, is it called Gemini? Whatever I decide to use. To iron out the wording and the content for that very simple landing page. I don't want to sell. I want to generate curiosity so people can learn more. And if they're at a point where they want to improve their life and they think working with me is a way they want to try out, I'm happy to meet them halfway, have a call or two and figure out, hey, yeah, you're in a situation that I can help you with. Do you want to commit to a plan of working with me and go from there? I can't be that sales guy. I can't be the ShamWow guy. I can't be the outgoing, hey, I can solve your problems. Call me at 647-243-6050 or what. I don't even know what my number is for the business. That's how little I use the damn thing. That's hilarious. Oh, geez. So that's what I've decided. I'm not going to pour endless amounts of energy into content marketing anymore. I'm going to do this when the spirit moves me to record an episode. I know I said every 2 weeks. I'm going to try actually to get 2 consecutive episodes, 2 weeks apart. That'd be an improvement over what I've done with this podcast. But I record when I feel the energy and the motivation and the spirit to want to sit in front of the camera and talk to you guys and go, hey, I'm here, I'm back. This is what's been going on. And yeah, it's a small reach, but it is a reach nonetheless. I know there are people that go, geez, I only had 1,000 views in my video. And I'm like, 1,000 people spent time watching what you had to say. That's a milestone. That's huge. If my episode gets 10 downloads, I feel pretty special. So yeah, so that's the kind of the switch with the coaching is I still want to do it. I still want to help people. I still want to be a healer. I just don't want to be a sales guy. I refuse to be a sales guy. I will not do that. It's not who I am. It's not authentic to me, how I relate to people, and I'm not going to do it. So going back to the winter was tough, and not just myself, but a number of people I know felt the pull of seasonal affective depression or seasonal affective disorder. I know for me, it was worse than that. It was I had SAD combined with a high functioning depression. And let me paint a picture. A number of times in the winter, I got ideas about the podcast, ideas about my YouTube channel, ideas about my writings for Substack, ideas for LinkedIn. And I could get to work on it. And there's a couple courses I started on Udemy that I started. And then it's not that I'm lazy. It's not that I'm not committed. It's that depression rears its ugly fucking head and sucks the life out of me. And it takes everything I have just to show up for my day job, to actually wake up, shower, shave, get ready for work, do the commute, serve people all day, and get back home and not crash the car on the way home. That's all I have in me. I get home, I'm even too tired to even watch an episode of anything on television and go to bed and then do it all over the next day. That doesn't give you a lot of energy and time and effort and oomph to work on something extra. I had some wonderful ideas for some episodes for the podcast. I had some wonderful ideas for my blog, for my photography website, tomsview.ca, which is also the same. You can get the podcast on here, Tomsview, TOMSVEWVIEW.ca, tomsview.ca, to watch other episodes of the podcast, the video version, the audio version. Also, my photography's on there, and also my missives and my blog are there. A lot of them have to do with stories behind the photo. Some of them are more personal. Some of them are more just informational. You never know until you get on there and read it. But again, I haven't updated that in quite a while because I've just been struggling to get through my work week, to recharge on the weekends, sometimes watch a video or on a course, or attempt a recording, or maybe take a couple pictures, or there's also, I'm trying to spend time with my son who lives nearby and then have some enjoyment with him. And that's hard also when you're fighting depression. So yeah, that's been really hard. But I'd like to point out, I did what was necessary to get through. I dropped what wasn't essential so I could focus on what was essential. I kept putting up a good fight. I kept pushing through. I kept showing up. But I also knew on certain days there was no pushing. It was, okay, go back to bed, lie down, rest, go for a walk, have a more relaxing meditation. Don't worry about your journal. Don't worry about X, Y, or Z. Just focus on resting and recuperating, because in a day or two, you have to go back to the grind and serve people at a very high level in a very demanding situation, 4 days a week. It's hard. Plus, living so far away from where I work is hard as well. But working hard, pushing through, but also listening to yourself when it's time to take a break, when it's time to give in and recharge. It's going to be different for every single person. But I also know that what happens to me if I don't listen, I can work myself to the point where I'd probably need an ambulance. That's not good for me. It's not good for the medical system. It's not good for my family. It's not good for my coworkers. It's really important that I play the chessboard in such a way that no matter what, I can still 99.95% of the time show up and serve at my day job as required. That, to me, is really important, and it's important to the people that rely on me at my day job, not just my coworkers, but the people I serve who come to where I work. And I don't really talk about my day job for a number of reasons. With longer hours of the day, more daylight, it's already been a huge help. I was at a point where I was actually considering going back on antidepressants. And I didn't want to, because I know that they help me, but they don't help me. They turn me more into a passive lump of human tissue as opposed to someone who actually wants to do something with his life. And that's not I'm not judging others. I'm telling you, that's what they do to me. They make everything seem smaller and less important, and they take the load off of me cognitively to a degree. They don't help me sleep. They interfere with my libido. And I don't feel like me. I don't feel like when Tom is happy, healthy, I don't feel like that on antidepressants. That's a different feeling. It's not what I was hoping for at any stretch. But if I really needed to, I would have went back on them. I'm not that resistant to them. But I'm happy that I didn't need to go do that. I'm proud of myself that I didn't need to go back on them. I'm proud of the fact that I listened to myself. I listened to my depression. I listened to my body. I pushed when I had to. I gave in when I needed to. And I'm still here. I'm still making podcasts. I'm still enjoying my life out here in Northern Ontario on the beautiful Lake Huron. But I'm not going to force myself to do what I don't have to do when I'm definitely not feeling it. So that's a big step. Depression is a very horrible thing. And if you don't suffer from it, I'm very happy for you. But if you people that do, I would urge you to attempt to be as understanding as you can, to be as helpful as you can, knowing what you know about the person. And if you do suffer with it, I'm going to ask you this question. And again, this is not professional advice. It's not meant to treat or cure any disease, blah, blah, blah. It's just all those disclaimers. This is just my life experience with depression's like a sneaky little thing that hangs around you all the time. And it's always looking for a way in. It's always looking for a way to sneak back into your life. You can kick it to the curb, but it's going to be on the edge of your lawn. It's not going to go away. And it's going to try and sneak in when something upsets you, when you overexert yourself, whether it's physically, emotionally, socially, and your batteries are run down, it'll come back in. Or if you get several days of bad weather and that takes your mood down a bit, it's going to try and sneak in. My advice to you is to never let it move in. It can visit, but don't let it move in. Kick it to the curb as soon as you can. Try not to become a victim. Try not to adopt that victim mentality, that woe is me, and that, oh, they don't understand how hard this is for me. Don't let yourself become that person, because it is really hard to go from that to becoming a survivor of depression. That is a very long, hard journey. And the harder you try to defy depression, the harder you try to stand up to it, the harder you try to function despite it, the less time it's going to have to actually move in and ruin your life. I have friends who have no idea what I'm talking about. And I have friends who listen to this podcast who know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of them, it was just a once in a lifetime experience. For some, it's a recurring thing. Others, they're more like me. It comes and goes more often than we care to admit. Keep fighting that good fight, because you're never going to find fulfillment in life if you let depression run your life. And in a similar vein, and I might come across as a cold-hearted bastard. And while I am a bastard, my heart is anything but cold. What really changed my life was advice I was given. I was in my early 30s. I'd gone on antidepressants as an experiment. And the advice I was given was this: take total, entire 100% responsibility for everything that has happened to you in your life. Everything. No exceptions. Yes, cold-hearted bastard, I know. And yes, I'm not even going to try to defend that statement, because it's pointless. Be willing to take 100% total responsibility for everything that's happened to you in your life, for your current situation, for your current problems, for your current blessings, for being 100 pounds overweight, or for being poor, for not having any friends, or for having friends that use you. Guilty as charged. Not my current friends. Take the responsibility. The reason is, if you blame someone else, if you blame, oh, I'm so depressed because this girl was just using me, you let her use you. There's a part of you that knew, She was using you and you let her use you. Guilty as charged. The second that you take the responsibility, you get something very important back. When you blame that person, you're giving away your power. If she used you and abused you and you're going to just be a victim of that, you have no power. You cannot change anything. You can't, because you gave her the power. If you go, you know what? I was this stupid frickin' idiot, didn't see the signs, and I let her use me, and I'm out $20,000. And you know what? I'm smarter for it. I'm not going to let it happen again, and it's time to move on. That is power. Blaming her? No power. You're stuck. You're out 20 grand and you hate yourself. Taking the responsibility and recognizing it was her and that you let her gives you power to stop it and to change your situation. It's the same thing with, oh, all these credit card companies loan me more money than I could afford to pay back, so it's their fault. No, it's your fault. You take responsibility, you do a creditor proposal, you fix it, and you make better choices moving forward. If you accept the fact that the reason that you're 20, 30, or 100 pounds overweight is because you've been overeating, that gives you the chance to step up and go, you know what? I'm going to start making changes. I'm going to start doing research. I'm going to find a doctor that can help me, or a nutritionist or a naturopath or whatever route you decide to go. And I'm going to start making changes to improve my life, improve my health. That's power. Blaming the food industry for making food hyper addictive. Yes, then they did do that. I fully admit that. But blaming them doesn't give you any power. You're the one that puts that shit in your mouth. You're the one that went to the grocery store or the confectionery store or 7-Eleven and bought that and put it in your mouth. Make better choices. That's your power. The reason I'm harping on this is because it is so critical if you're facing hard, challenging times, or you're facing a situation that you're tired of, or worse yet, you're in a situation that seems to be hopeless. Take your power back. It can be done. Part of what I do in coaching is when a client starts the blame game and they're blind to it, I get them laser focused on their blind spot. I call them out on it and we work on it. And then they make changes and they refer their friends to me. Paying friends, please. Sorry. Finding fulfillment after 50 is hard when you're depressed. It's hard when you're not happy with who you are, where you are. It's hard when you just lost your wife to cancer, or she left you for another man, or you find out one of your kids is not doing well. It's hard, but at the same time, if you're in your 50s, you're nearing completion of others' expectations. You can start expecting people to start taking on their own responsibilities, and you got to start taking care of you. I'm working really hard on that, and it has been easy. There have been setbacks, I'm not going to lie. It is not a straight upward climb. It goes up and down, left, right, center, and backwards sometimes. And I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is giving up. I want you to make sure that you haven't given up on yourself and your future. There is so much more to your story that has to be written yet. And you hold the pen to write that. You hold the pen to write that story. There are no second chances. This isn't a dress rehearsal. This is life. This is your life as we know it. And do you find out what's important to you and find more ways to incorporate more of what's important to you into your daily life. I'm going to have more on this topic in future episodes. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you for listening to Out Here Finding Fulfillment After 50. I love this project. I love talking to you guys. If you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me, Tom@revolutionize.me, or you can reach out to me Vivus Coaching, VIVUS Coaching at gmail.com, and I will respond to your email, I promise. All right. Thank you so much for listening. This is Tom for Out Here, Finding Freedom After 50, simple, solo, rural. We'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.